Hi, everyone, and welcome to our second episode of the MACRC Benefit Fund and Friends podcast. Today, we are joined by Angeline. She is a condition management RN and wellness coach at the Carpenter Center for Health, and she's going to join us for a little talk about some of the work that she does at the Carpenter Center for Health. And a little bit about her, wellness philosophy and some of the help that she can provide to members, retirees, and their families. So without any further ado, welcome, Angeline.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. It's really nice to be asked to do this, and I'm very excited to share some of my tips and pearls of what goes on over here at the Carpenter Center.
That's awesome. So just to start off, if you would be willing to share a little bit about some of your work and education background, leading into what brought you over to the Carpenter Center for Health.
Yeah, I'd love to. Well, I have to say that I'm very excited. I just celebrated 30 years of being a registered nurse. And in that arena, I have worked in a lot of different specialty areas, including 7 years in a critical care unit, done a lot of other things as a clinical specialist, etc. But what really has always been my passion has been to work in some sort of a holistic, natural setting with natural remedies. I really believe that food is medicine and it can heal the underlying chronic inflammation that most people have that lead to chronic diseases. So with that being said, I was drawn here to the Carpenter Center with their program, and I think this is going to be one of the best wellness programs in the state of Illinois.
That's awesome. And so how long have you now been at the Carpenter Center for Health?
I have been here a little over 2.5 years.
Oh, wonderful. And what do you most enjoy about working with the carpenters, their families, and the retirees?
Well, I would say, first of all, I love the members because they are very genuine, down to earth people, both the carpenters and their family members. They're truly motivated to make some changes in their life for the better. They're very eager to learn. They appreciate everything that you do for them, and they take ownership of their wellness plans and their lifestyle changes. And they come back, they show up, they're prepared, they're engaged. And I just really love that they want to be here. And I see a lot of amazing changes happening to people over the past 2.5 years.
That is super cool. So, you have two kind of areas of focus, it sounds like condition management and wellness coaching. Can you go into a little bit more detail about what those services are that you offer?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So you're right. I do have kind of a unique blended role here. And as a wellness coach, I help patients focus on concerns such as nutrition, weight management, tobacco cessation, stress reduction, work-life balance. I'm really here to be a champion to their success, helping them change their lives and to love themselves. Also, with my coaching sessions, I really hold my members accountable. They come up with their goals based on their needs, and I help them. I help them along a path to attain those goals and to be where they want to be. I work with people one-on-one. I work with couples, families. I do in-person, and I can even do telehealth phone calls with them if they're able to come in. So in addition to that, as a condition management nurse, my goal is to really help people with chronic health conditions. And by that, I mean things like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, thyroid disease, digestive disorders, etc. And my goal is to really help them understand how to reduce their symptoms and take ownership of their health. I really like to approach what I do, addressing both the mind, body, and spirit. So it's the whole person. And I help patients follow a path to wellness and know that they are not alone, that there's someone here that can walk beside them and help them to get to the end of the their path. But then the path really never ends. It just keeps going, and we want to make sure it goes in a great direction.
Yeah, that's really neat. Kind of going into your overall wellness philosophy, what you mentioned a little bit about how it's more than just, nutrition, exercise, things like that, that it really is, mind, body, and spirit. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. And I think this is where my passion really lies. So for me, it's all about being mindful and really believing in the power to change what is ailing us. So it's not just about physical health, but also nurturing emotional health and spiritual health, as I said. And it's not, this whole program is not just about what we eat or taking our medications correctly. It's really about how we see ourselves and feeling good when we look in the mirror. People may experience a setback, but we help patients forge ahead, knowing that they really have someone that they can always reach out to for positive reinforcement. So a lot of the different services that I've talked about already, I want to also stress that things like stress management and sleep referrals for people who have difficulty sleeping, which is a very big population of patients, um, helping them to also get through those things outside of just lifestyle changes in nutrition and fun physical activity. So it's kind of like a triangle. At one point is good, healthy, plant-based whole food nutrition. At one point is good, fun physical activity. It doesn't have to be joining a gym. It can be something very simple and enjoyable. Another point is making sure people get good, healthy sleep. And if they don't, getting them to a sleep center to get them there. And also making sure that their emotional health is being managed appropriately so they're not being completely stressed out all the time, because that in itself lends to further chronic disease and further issues.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your little note about fun physical activity and that it doesn't just
Yeah.
have to be going to the gym.
Yeah, and that's something that I really like to focus on too, is it's not I don't like to use the words exercise or diet, because diet implies, oh, you're going to put me on broccoli salads every day. No, that is not the case at all. Exercise sort of implies to people that to go join it, go there 3 days a week and work out. But a lot of times that does not work for people. So I encourage them to think of fun activities that they enjoy, such as canoeing, kayaking, basketball, volleyball, tennis, bike riding, other things like that that they can enjoy and do out of their own home and backyard rather than having to go join a gym.
Mhm. What would you say are the habits and sort of the qualities that you find in your most successful members, and what kind of uh, you know, attributes really elevate their success?
Well, there's really two areas where patients come to my office. They're either referred to me through one of our other providers, such as the physical therapist, the chiropractor, our nurse practitioner, our doctor, Dr. Fednick, or they come in here as a self-referral on their own. Perhaps they've seen an ad somewhere in a newsletter or on their carpenter's newsletter, and they come in. But they're very motivated, and they want to be here. Someone's
Hmm.
not forcing them to come. They're coming on their own volition. Um, they are people that really are at a point in our life where maybe the blood pressure is going up a little, or maybe the cholesterol level's too high, or maybe they're in pre-diabetes and they're really ready to get serious about their health and make some lifestyle changes, which is the first thing you can do to help with all of these other chronic things. So they show up at their appointments, which is important. If they can't, we have a telehealth call. So they're not going too long without seeing or talking to me. They're excited. They're eager to learn. They have lots of questions. And they really like being held accountable. Because I can't hold their hand when they leave my office. I have to trust that they're going to do what I've suggested that they do, and they come back very proud that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's those few qualities that really can drive success in a lot of people.
Yeah. You mentioned a little bit about sort of the cohesion within the Carpenter Center for Health and the way that, all of you work together to really focus on the whole health of a person and not just, one area, but really kind of working as a team. Would you say that's unique to the Carpenter Center for Health versus other places you've worked?
Oh, I absolutely 100% think that's one of the biggest strengths that we have with our different lines of service. I do, like I said, the health and wellness and the condition management piece. We have a wonderful chiropractor, Dr. Kolev. We have an excellent physical therapist, Ricky Buzin. We have a new nurse practitioner, Takiki Buckman. We have our medical director, Dr. Fednick. And together we look at the patients and we all refer within. If someone needs help with weight loss, they're referred to me. If someone has a sore shoulder or a sore back, then I can refer them to physical therapy or chiropractic, and vice versa. If they have a patient from the outside that is struggling with, let's say, stress or a sleep disorder or high cholesterol, they refer them to me. So we all work as a very cohesive team to make sure that our members are really truly getting head to toe treatment in one place. And a lot of times we can tag team those visits together so they're not coming back 3 and 4 times for all of our separate lines of service. They can get everything done at one time.
Yeah, I love that like one-stop shop sort of mentality. I think especially with, you know, life is busy, gas is expensive, getting to kind of knock out a few things all at once is probably a really helpful benefit.
It's extremely helpful, and you hit the nail on the head with, things are difficult now. Gas is very expensive. People just can't afford to be running around and taking all this extra time off of work. So to be able to come here and see the chiropractor, see the physical therapist, have a meeting with me, and maybe even if you have an acute need, seeing one of our providers, or if you're having your physical, we also have the vision center. So everything right here in this building is a great way to only have someone maybe take a half a day off of work if they have to take time off work, rather than 3 days and running around to all these different doctors.
That's awesome. Do you have any, maybe before we sign off today, just any words of encouragement that we could share out with our members, whether, they're on their journey on their own or they're, considering coming in, just, some sage wisdom before we sign off?
Yeah, I would say, it's tough times. People are struggling with their health in a lot of different ways. People are struggling with being able to sleep through the night and feel rested when they wake up. People are struggling with the stress from COVID and from gas prices and from grocery prices. Maybe they're really struggling to lose a couple of pounds. Maybe their relationships are struggling. Those are all things that we can discuss together and put together a very personalized plan for these people. It's very hard to do it on your own. You need to have someone to really be accountable to and to help guide you down that path. I actually have a picture in my office of a beautiful path that leads out to a gorgeous oasis of health. And I always tell people, this is where you're starting, but this is where I want you to end up. So again, I want to just say, without sounding cliche, you have everything to gain, really nothing to lose. Maybe an hour or two of your day coming in here, but I guarantee you it will be worth it. You will be very happy that you did it. And if you find it's not for you, then it's not for you. But I think that you're going to find that this is a great program.
Well, that's
And
awesome.
it's fun. I like to
Yeah,
make it fun. We like to laugh in here and joke and not keep things so serious. We just really, I want it to be a fun thing.
that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and to our members listening today. I think that this could be a really helpful tool for all of our members to use and free of cost, which is very exciting. Like all services at the Carpenter Center for Health. So that's
Absolutely. This is all, there's no charge to our carpenters or their members. And maybe this podcast that we're doing today, Jennifer, will prompt some people who listen to it to maybe want to send in questions, or maybe we could do another one where there's a question and answer session. Who knows? I think it could open up a lot of interesting things for the future.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. And to everyone listening at home, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day today. And we'll be back next month with another episode.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and everyone have a wonderful time and take care of your bodies and your minds
And your spirits.
and your spirits.
Alrighty.
Thank you. My pleasure.